Good morning, everybody. How y'all doing? I hope you're doing well. These last 24 hours have been rather interesting. It's the only way really I can think to describe it. A lot of low sugars. Even on the way to work, I felt myself dropping. Even though when I took my sugar, it was showing I was okay. I just didn't feel right, you know. And sure enough, about 45 minutes into my shift, I bottomed. And I'm like, okay. So I went back and took care of it, or at least got those fruit snacks out of the vending machine. Sat there at my desk eating them because I'm like, it's too early to take a 15. And that shot my sugar straight up, of course, to the point where my sensor was acting up, so I had to go back and do a finger prick. And I just went ahead and kept my stuff with me. It's in a little pouch or whatever, and I just kept it in my pocket, in my apron, basically. And ate my lunch/dinner, whatever you want to call it. And before I was going to clock back in, my sugar bottomed out. Like, what the fuck? I just ate. I didn't take that much insulin. I've been cutting back. And I'm like, what the fuck? So, and it wasn't rebounding either. I tried meditating, this or that, thinking, okay, I just need to chill a minute. I didn't do any sewing, nothing. I'm like, okay, let me just chill. Maybe my food will digest, and I'll rebound, So I was thinking. Didn't do it. So I grabbed a candy bar, basically a Nutrageous, out of the vending machine. I figure, okay, peanut butter, the peanuts, the sugar, the caramel, everything. I mean, we're talking high carbs here. That should rebound me. It would probably send me skyrocketing. Didn't budge. If anything, I sunk even further. Especially when I decided, you know what, I'm just going to try and go back out on the floor. Yeah, I had already clocked back in and so forth, and I didn't get a chance to take my first 15 before I broke for lunch. So I figured, okay, I'll just go ahead and sit here and at least use up a little bit of that 15 so I can, take care of this situation. But after a while, I'm like, well, maybe it's some activity, moving around a little bit, help digest the food, and, it'll get the sugars going, back into my system, how it'll counteract the insulin. I sunk further. I'm like, what the fuck? And unfortunately, I had a couple come in. They had already had a measure done. And they're trying to come in to finalize their sale so they can take advantage of the promo that's been going on. Ends today. And they, trying to get in on that before it ends. And I'm just sitting there and I'm getting down and I keep taking my sugar because I'm just like, I can't think straight. I just want to pass out. And finally, I got on the phone and called manager. I'm like, look, you need to get somebody over here to help these people because my sugar is really low. He's like, okay, I'll try and find somebody. I was trying to do the dutiful thing, to sit there and wait, instead of leaving them. But finally, I had to walk away. And they understood. And they were like, no, go take care of yourself. You're having a problem. They could tell. And I was like, okay. I'm like, I'll do my best to be back in 5 minutes, but I can't make any guarantees. They're like, don't worry about it. Just go. We'll be here. And I'm like, okay. So I left. And of course, the whole time I was kept thinking, about them, feeling self-conscious, blah, blah, blah. And I went and grabbed an orange juice out of the vending machine this time. And I'm like, okay, that should rebound me. With all the sugar and so forth, I'm like, I should rebound. I mean, that's always a go-to, either orange juice or apple juice. I thought about maybe grabbing the apple juice, but I opted for the orange juice. Excuse me. My sugar rebounding was like an engine chugging, trying to go into gears, trying to change gears or push out carbon monoxide or some of those O2 whatever. Anyway, some of the sludge that you wind up, those carbon elements or whatever, your engine will wind up building up over time. That's kind of how it was acting, like one of the O2 sensors went out or some shit. Just that chugging, trying to, get back up, and it's like, I don't know how else to describe it, because it was like I would get up, like a few points and plateau, and get up a few points and plateau. And it wasn't just a short plateau, it was a long plateau. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, it just will not get back up. I finally got it back up into the 60s. 70s, low 70s. And I just was not feeling right. I mean, it's still considered to be normal range. I did get it, but it was pretty much in the 70s. I think maybe low 80s. I don't remember at this point. I finally went back out and the people were still sitting there. And I'm trying my best to get it together, and I just couldn't get it together. And finally, the one manager walked by. I had no idea she was even there. She started walking by or what have you, and I flagged her over. And I had no idea. I thought maybe the other manager had talked to her or something. I had no idea what was going on or anything. But anyway, finally, I explained to her, what was happening with the order and so forth, the changes that need to be made. And I'm just like, I call measurement services, right? And she's like, right. She could see maybe I was having a problem or what have you, but she didn't talk to me about it at all, even after everything was said and done. But it was like, okay, whatever. I just don't care at this point, with things that have happened with the job. I'm just like, I don't give a fuck anymore. I really don't give a shit. As far as I'm concerned, you've had your strikes. And I am ready to leave. I'm at that point. So, but, at this point, I'm just trying to stick around so I can do the things that I need to do. But anyway, that's another story. So anyway, the rest of the night, and we got things taken care of. I tried calling measurement services. They were closed. So she jumped on the computer and did things to take care of things or what have you, so we could get the quote updated and get the discount applied and everything, and get their transaction taken care of. So anyway, the rest of the night, by this point, there's about an hour and a half left to my shift. I'm just completely out of my mind, basically. I can't get it together at all. And my sugars finally did get back over 100 at least. But even when getting off from work, there was something I really needed to take care of. Basically, bring some pallets down, get some assistance with that. I didn't dare do any of it because it just, trying to coordinate anything was extremely difficult. Even after getting off from work, Angie picked me up last night, and I expected it to be Rick because he said he was going to pick me up. And I was just like, did he tell you that I need to stop off at Walmart? She's like, no, he didn't. I'm like, okay. So we stopped off, and while there, I was just like, I want to go over to the other side of the store, get some glucose tabs, take them with it, one of those small ones, and also get a jar to refill, so that way I can have at least the tube in my thing, in my apron, to help me with these situations. I've been getting the fruit snacks out of the vending machine at work, but they're kind of expensive, And, I mean, on the one hand, I don't mind it, but at the same point, yeah, I need something, and unfortunately, they didn't have the ones that I really like. So I just got a tube of, excuse me, these other ones, and I'm like, you know what, let's grab some Ensure. Because, I mean, the glucose tabs are okay to at least help get the sugar up to get me to a place where I can get something that will help keep me up. What I need is protein. The sugar is just, the glucose basically is just there to help get the sugar up. But you need the protein to help stabilize. And it's like, okay, and I'm trying to think as best I can. And it helped having her there to at least be a sounding board, because I was very unsure of myself at this point, because I'm very confused, because now my sugar, instead of being low, I'm finally rebounding. It took 5 hours for my fucking sugar to rebound. And I'm going, now at this point, I'm flying. So, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, I'm just completely, I feel like I'm going out of my mind, So, at least with having her there, I was able to have a sounding board, So anyway, all in all, I was like, okay, I just, I got it, excuse me, I got it, I'm like, let's at least get the small tube of the other stuff. The store has been in the process of remodeling, so there's stocks and there isn't, and trying to find shit is very difficult. And she was just like, okay, where do they usually keep them? Like, wherever the diabetic supplies are, because the diabetic supplies were in one place at one point, now they're over here. It's like, great, no idea. So anyway, basically they finally catching up with those of us on the West Coast with the branding. It's like, wow, you all are really behind. It's like, wow. So anyway, little girl. So anyway, got a tube of the one flavor of glucose tabs. I didn't buy the container. I figure I'll just try and write it out or what have you for that. And then grabbed a 6-pack of the high protein Ensure chocolate flavor, of course. Ugh, the other one, she was just like, oh, well, the Equate is cheaper. No, don't do it. Those are horrible. They're like really chalky and so forth. And she's like, well, what about these other ones? No, stick with what I know. Stick with what I know. It was like, no. Stick with what I know. What I know works. She's like, yeah, that makes sense. It's like, okay. So, and of course, trying to check out, it was like, that was, oh gosh, just trying to get home. And I did grab some, of course, I grabbed some other stuff I needed. Thank goodness Rick had he went to the store yesterday morning. Thank goodness he picked me up some yogurt because they were out there. But when I got home, I'm like, I am a little hungry, so, and I picked myself up some Utz potato chips. Sorry, I had to do it. Even though my sugar was flying, I'm like, well, I'm taking some insulins anyway, and I had also picked myself up a bag of Hershey's Nuggets, the toffee and almond ones. Good thing I did. I just had a feeling. Sure enough, right down. But I'm like, you know what, fuck it. I have the day off. I don't give a fuck. You know? I just let my sugar drop. Basically, I would wake up, grab some of the nuggets, shove them in my mouth, and fall back to sleep. My sugar I have no idea how long my sugar stayed low. Definitely below 70. And my alarm kept going off, and I just kept doing it and doing it. All in all, though, it was a good thing. Actually goes back to what I was talking about yesterday with that NDE, the near-death experience I had last year. Because I went with dealing with the low sugars while sleeping, trying to sleep or whatever. I kept having this dream. Each time I would go back to sleep, the dream would continue. I'd wake up just long enough to shove some nuggets in my mouth, and then I'd fall back to sleep, and the dream would continue. So I'm taking all of this as an experience to teach me some things. And after finally, and I didn't want to wake up. That was the thing. I didn't want to wake up. I wanted to continue having the dream. I wanted to finish it out. I wanted to see the ending. I had the feeling I needed to see the ending. And it was that same feeling that I had when I had the NDE, when I knew that it wasn't my time. It's just like in that Oprah podcast I talked about, where people were talking about, there's no communication with words. It's a knowing. It's a feeling. Same thing. And it's the same thing that I experience all the time when I'm getting like the intuition hits, when I'm seeing signs, when I'm getting feelings and so forth. And I'm talking about when I'm fully awake. But it's like I go into another space. I don't want to say another realm, but another space. I'm here, but I'm not completely here. Okay? And it's also like when I'm same space that I'm kind of in when I'm reading a room, when I'm reading a person, even if the person isn't right in front of me, if I'm reading them, like watching a video, seeing a picture or something like that. Or if I'm looking at a house, pictures of a house, I could tell if there's another presence there or not. That same space that I go in. And it's the same space that I was in when I had that NDE, only on another level. And it's the same place that I go to sometimes in my dreams. And it's the same place. It's actually a couple different places. But this one in particular, I've been there several times. Many times in the past. But in the past, I would get to a certain point and then I'd wake up. This time, I'm like, no. I'm not going to wake up. I'm going to finish this out. And I did this time. And I recognized the places, and I saw signs, like the cover of the book that I was reading, or that I am reading. Messages from that I was getting from seeing that image. Messages that I was getting because my mom was there. And I'm like, okay. And even all the way to the end. And I'm like, okay. And that's when I woke up. And I'm like, all right, I need to take care of the sugar. And I'm like, I really need to go to the bathroom too. So I took care of that. And I grabbed the bottle and shred through some in the fridge when I got home. And grabbed a bottle from the fridge, brought it up, drank it down real quick, and now I'm like, okay, now I need to go back to sleep a little bit, or at least just go kind of back, in between or what have you, not completely fall asleep, just kind of that in and out phase. And then that's when everything started coming together. And the biggest lesson, I mean, there's a lot that came out through that, but the biggest thing that I got from it is I realized, and some of it has to do with the book that I've been reading, where a person is talking about at some points that they're safe. It's basically an autobiography. And the person is talking about how in several ways their safe place or their safe landing spot throughout their life has been their family. The strength, in some ways relying on the strength of their mom. And I can relate to that. But also through their father, and also the rest of their family. I never had family, for the most part. Don't get me wrong, yeah, I had family, but we were never close. I tried, but no. My father was somebody who's always been unreliable, always had bad temper, sometimes abusive, not mostly psychological, emotional, but sometimes physical. Never been a reliable person to go to for advice for anything. Primarily because he always had his nose stuck in a TV set. And never, there's always somebody who never got out of Leave It to Beaverland. And the person I always went to with things was my mom. And unfortunately, she passed away in 2008. At first, I was okay. And I thought I'd be okay. And it took several months. I was actually in my second quarter of classes in design school. When I finally had the meltdown. And realized I wasn't going to be okay. That it was going to be a struggle. And I'll admit it has been a struggle since. don't get me wrong, we didn't have the perfect relationship. We had our issues. We had our differences. But no matter what, in the end, we always came back together and relied on each other. And over the years, I realized, especially after I tried reconnecting with my father, because we were estranged for about 5 years, but I tried to reach out to maybe try and mend our relationship, and of course we know how well that went. But and unfortunately, trying to rely on my best friend, who I thought knew me better than what she did, so on and so forth. But ultimately, through everything, let's face it, this has been a rough road. I have found that the only person that I can really rely on is myself. It has been great. This has been a really great landing spot. Don't get me wrong. But this has helped me to have opportunity to regroup. And I'm realizing it's helping me to regroup so I can be my own soft landing spot. Even if I wind up in a relationship with somebody, whether it's my current interest or somebody else, meeting new friends, what have you. Even with having the soft landing spot, with spirit and my guardian, my guides, in many ways, with being here in this realm, I have a tendency to feel alone and feel like I don't have any strength, especially with everything that's happened. And this is teaching me, like I said, how I can be my own soft landing spot. And because nothing lasts forever, at least here in this realm. Everybody's going to die. Even little Miss Idget here, curled up on my hip right now. Or I should say, against my hip. Anybody can go at any moment. And then what? That person or that situation that you have relied on for your strength, for your will, for your love, your support, so on and so forth, is gone. Now what? And you still have your whole life left to live. Your life could end the next second, the next day. But what happened? Okay, fine. But what happens if you're going to be here for many, many more years? Like in my case. There have been I'll admit there have been several times since my mom passed. I just wanted to be reunited with her. And that's not right either. Because there's things that I have to do here. Part of it, of course, has been to take care of the ones that I've been needing to take care of, that have been, I guess you could say, assigned to me to take care of. But there's things that I need to accomplish myself, for myself, experiences I need to have, and so forth. And one of those experiences is this here. So, yeah. And like I said, unfortunately, you can only rely on yourself, because nothing lasts forever. And that's the biggest takeaway that I'm getting from all of this. And also finding out, things about myself and what I want and what I want to do. So anyway, as far as the job situation is concerned, I know my time there is limited, one way or another, whether it's them firing me or me walking away. I know my time there is limited, and I don't give a shit. My main concern is to make sure that I have enough money in the bank so I can be my own soft landing spot. So I can rent that car, get back out driving. At least I'll have my freedom. That's something I miss terribly. I miss my independence, my freedom. That definitely came out through the experience I had this morning. And it has been coming out, let's face it, even without that experience. But also, but basically right now, my main concern is just to ride things out. So right now, I need that insurance so I can get to at least the endocrinologist to get that prescription renewed. At least until maybe I can get myself established with being an independent contractor, so I can get back on insurance, paying for my own. And also get her taken care of. She needs to get into the vet there. Find out why she's got all this itching going on, driving me nuts. So those are my two top priorities right now. Yes, I need to get a computer. Yes, I want to get back into doing something creative. It's still going through my mind with going back as a graphic designer. It's still going through my mind. I'm just not sure if that's my path or not. If that's something I want to do or not. Or if I want to pursue a different creative path, or possibly both. But where I'm at right now is not my path. It's just a means to an end. Um, yes, I would like to be able to take advantage of possible savings. But if it doesn't work out, so be it. It means that there's something else on my path as far as a way to get to where I want to go. I know where I want to go. Yeah, I know where I want to go. With talking it out, it's coming to me more and more so even now. So, and the question has been, how do I get there? Well, I know now. So, one step at a time. Plan is in place. Alternatives are in place. Yeah, I'm feeling it. I'm seeing it now. So, we start down that path. We start down that path. Yeah, I see it. I feel it. I think that, to tell you the truth, I think part of the reason why I've been having all these low sugars is to try and show me, and I wasn't getting the message. I need to go to sleep, and finally I got thrown that podcast, and I don't normally watch podcasts, or anything. I'm just not interested for the most part, but I'm also a believer that things happen for a reason. And that was thrown at me. I knew it was a sign. I felt it. It's like, hey, knocking on my door. Hey, hello, I need you to watch this. There's a reason. Okay. And then, and when things got really bad yesterday, it's like, okay, I need to let this ride. I'm not going to die. Everything's okay. It's not my time. I know that. I need to just let this ride and just let it, just keep the body going just enough to put me in that space so I can get the messages that I need. That's what it boiled down to. Yeah, it's dangerous. But it had to happen. And I believe that now. It's been trying to for the last couple of weeks, basically. And then I finally had the opportunity. It's like, on the one hand, it's like spirit and so forth, or knocking on my door, hey, we need but it's like, but the 3D is saying, no, we need to do this, So finding that balance, I knew that I've been getting a lot of premonitions also, and they're what I call future dreams. Basically, I have these events happen, and come to me in my dreams in the past, and then all of a sudden the event starts happening, and then it's like, oh yeah, I dreamt this, but they've been different this time. I can't explain it. It's like it starts happening, and then it's like things speed up. It's the only way I can think to describe it. It's very difficult trying to describe it. Whereas before it was, okay, event starts happening, and they're insignificant events, but I know it's around something significant. And it leads up to something significant. And I've been getting them a lot, especially the last few days. So I know something big was coming. And it still might be. This might not be the big thing that's coming. I don't know. I just know that things are so clear now. For the first time since I've gotten here. first time in a very, very, very long time that things are clear. And in a way, because my mom was there also. So in a way, yeah, she's still my mattress, my soft landing spot. To borrow a phrase, to borrow a word. With her being there, each time she's always there. And in a way, she is still my safe space. So, yeah. But I believe that that's what's been going on. It's like I've been being pulled two different directions. And I knew that these 3 days were going to be significant. And it was time for me to just let it happen. And I'm very happy I did. So, it's time to write down the game plan. It's time to put it in concrete, basically, and to go with it. I know it. I know where I'm going now. And it's a good feeling. Very good feeling. It's like I felt it before. But in many ways, I wasn't sure. Call it insecurity, lack of confidence, doubt, whatever. I don't care. Part of it was me soul searching. But now I know. And it's time to start going down that road. So, that's what I'm going to do. All right. I'm sure you all have been anxious to see her while sitting around listening to me. Here she is. Ta-da! Yep. Tell her, take care of your mommy. Yeah. Tell her, take care of your mommy. Mommy. She does. She does take care of me. She makes me laugh. She watches over me. Yeah, we take care of each other. Because we're a team, aren't we? Yes, we are. We're a team. That tail. Flipping that tail. Flipping that tail. Flipping that tail. Ooh. You messed up my hair, Mom. You messed up my hair. Alright, guys. I should let you go. I have a life to live. Instead of sitting around chit-chatting with you all the time. I don't mind. If it helps somebody out, maybe helping with, say, somebody who's going through something similar, maybe helping you realize some things, maybe getting messages or what have you, it's worth it. That's what matters. Alright? Love you guys. I'll talk to y'all soon. Oh, by the way, I did finally send the text message back to the gentleman who was wanting to date me. I said, I don't mind being friends, but that's about it. So, but there's been little communication or whatever, but no big deal. I know where my heart belongs. I don't want to say where it belongs. I know where my heart is. And even if it doesn't work out, it's not there. So that's the way I'm looking at it. I don't feel it. So why give in? So, and I didn't say, I didn't say, that I have another interest or anything like that. As far as I'm concerned, it's nobody's business but my own. All I said was, because he basically had said, I like you, and I said, I like you too, but strictly as a friend. And that was it. I left it. So, if he wants to be friends, fine. If not, no sweat off my back. I'm not going to worry about it. Oh, somebody sees a squirrely squirrel. I know. She loves watching those little boogers. It's so funny. It's supposed to be beautiful these 3 days, too. Looking forward to enjoying it. Maybe I'll take my book outside and read it. That'd be nice. Curl up underneath the tree on the grass. Yeah. All right. I'm almost halfway done, too, by the way. It's been enlightening. Very enlightening. And I knew it would be. And I knew it'd be hard to read, too. And it has. But it's been a good hard. A very good hard. I know what I just said. That could be good, too. After all, who doesn't like sex? I need to shut my mouth. Oh my goodness. If you don't like the content, get the fuck out. That's the way I look at it. Alright. Love you guys. I never said I didn't have a mouth. I've always spoken my mind. And I don't give a fuck. Alright. Okay, not always. Sometimes I do hold back some out of fear, but not anymore. Fuck off. So, anyway. Love you guys. I'll talk to y'all soon. Love you.